In this video, I'm about to show you 30 burgers you need to avoid at all costs and the 10 you should actually be eating. Starting with number 30, Five Guys Burger. Five Guys built its empire on the idea of a simple burger made fresh to order, but when you actually break down the numbers, this one is anything but simple. A single cheeseburger from Five Guys packs roughly 984 calories, 26 grams of saturated fat, and more than 1,000 milligrams of sodium before you even add fries or a drink. In fact, health researchers found it contains about 73% more saturated fat than the next worst cheeseburger on the market. That's the kind of fat intake that can spike LDL cholesterol and strain your heart if you make it a habit. To make matters worse, Five Guys earned an F rating in a nationwide report on antibiotic-free beef sourcing, meaning most of its meat likely comes from cattle routinely given drugs to fatten them faster. Add in the ultra-processed buns, cheese product, and sugary condiments, and what you get isn't a classic burger, it's a salt and fat bomb dressed up as fresh food. So while it might taste incredible hot off the grill, nutritionally, it's one of the worst offenders in fast food. If you crave Five Guys, maybe stick with the little burger and skip the extra patty. Number 29, Wendy's Bacon Deluxe. Wendy's markets its Bacon Deluxe as a premium, made fresh burger. But in terms of nutrition, this thing is a cardiac nightmare hiding behind a friendly red logo. A single Bacon Deluxe can climb past 950 calories, with nearly 60 grams of fat and over 1,600 milligrams of sodium, and that's just the regular size. Order the double or triple, and you're pushing well over 1,200 calories in one sitting, nearly matching what some people should eat in an entire day. The real issue isn't just the bacon or cheese, it's the sheer density of everything. The mayo-based dressing, double American cheese, and buttered bun combine to create a perfect storm of saturated fat and sodium. According to health data compiled by Eat This, Not That, it's among the highest in total fat of any mainstream burger in the US. And with that much salt, you're looking at a meal that can easily spike blood pressure and leave you bloated for hours. So yes, it's juicy, smoky, and satisfying, but nutritionally, it's an overbuilt salt bomb. If you're craving Wendy's, you're better off with their single hamburger and ditching the sauces and bacon altogether. Number 28, Burger King Triple Whopper. If there's one burger that truly lives up to the name Whopper, it's this one. And not in a good way. The Burger King Triple Whopper is a calorie bomb built for excess, stacking 3 beef patties, 2 slices of cheese, and a spread of mayo that turns your lunch into a nutritional disaster. One serving clocks in at roughly 1,220 calories, 82 grams of fat, and around 1,600 milligrams of sodium, and that's before you add fries or a drink. To put that in perspective, you're getting more saturated fat in a single meal than most people should have in an entire day. Registered dietitians have repeatedly listed it among the worst fast food burgers in America, not only for its fat and sodium levels, but for how deceptive its grilled branding is. The flame grilled look might sound cleaner, but what you're really biting into is industrial beef charred in fat and topped with high sugar condiments. Long term, eating burgers like this regularly increases risks for high cholesterol, heart disease, and obesity. And despite the king in its name, nutritionally it's more like a dethroned monarch. All size and ego, no substance. Number 27, McDonald's Quarter Pounder with Cheese. It's one of McDonald's oldest and most iconic burgers, but also one of its most deceptive. The Quarter Pounder with Cheese looks like a modest fast food meal, yet it hides a serious nutritional payload. A single sandwich clocks in at about 520 calories, 26 grams of fat, and 1,190 milligrams of sodium. That's more salt than an entire serving of Lay's chips and almost half your daily recommended sodium limit in one sandwich. Order it as a double, or pair it with fries and a soda, and you're suddenly staring down 1,200 to 1,400 calories before the meal is over. Beyond the numbers, this burger has seen its share of scrutiny. Earlier this year, several states investigated a multi-state E. coli outbreak linked to contaminated onions used on McDonald's Quarter Pounders and Big Macs. While the chain acted fast, it raised questions about ingredient sourcing and food safety oversight. And nutritionally, it's still the same red meat and salt combo that dietitians warn about. Too much saturated fat, too little fiber, and a heavy sodium load that can spike blood pressure. In short, the Quarter Pounder might be a symbol of classic Americana, but health-wise, it's a time capsule from an era that didn't read nutrition labels. Number 26, Jack in the Box Monster Burger. The Jack in the Box Monster Burger is infamous for two reasons. One rooted in history, and one still relevant today. Back in 1992 and 1993, Jack in the Box became the center of one of the deadliest E. coli outbreaks in U.S. fast food history, when undercooked beef patties infected more than 700 people and tragically killed 4 children. It was a disaster that permanently changed how America regulates ground beef. The USDA rewrote its safety standards, and the company nearly collapsed under the lawsuits. But even 3 decades later, the Monster Burger name feels eerily fitting. A single one of these towering burgers runs roughly 1,050 calories, 70 grams of fat, and over 1,700 milligrams of sodium, one of the heaviest totals in any drive-thru. Add fries and a drink, and you're easily past 1,500 calories in one meal. Nutrition experts call it a textbook example of fast food excess. Triple-stacked meat, melted cheese, mayo-based sauces, and a bun soaked in oil. Sure, it's marketed as a nostalgic, oversized indulgence, but between its deadly legacy and its modern nutrition profile, the Monster Burger is exactly what its name suggests. A monster your body doesn't need to face. Number 25. Smashburger Classic Double. Smashburger built its reputation on the smash technique, pressing fresh ground beef on a sizzling griddle to lock in flavor and create that crispy edge. But here's the catch. That signature crust also traps an alarming amount of fat and sodium. Their classic double Smashburger clocks in at roughly 930 calories, 63 grams of fat, and around 1,500 milligrams of sodium, according to the chain's own nutrition data. That's before fries, cheese add-ons, or sauces. And even the single patty version isn't exactly clean eating, sitting around 700 calories with nearly 40 grams of fat. What makes Smashburger deceptive is the fresh and cooked-to-order image. It sounds artisanal, but nutritionally, it's just another high-sodium, high-fat fast food burger wrapped in better marketing. Several health studies have pointed out that the thin smash sear produces more oxidized oils and advanced glycation end products, compounds linked to inflammation and cardiovascular stress when consumed regularly. So while it might feel a little more gourmet than a McDonald's or Wendy's burger, the numbers tell a different story. A classic double from Smashburger has about the same fat as 9 strips of bacon, and that's a level of flavor your arteries will remember long after the taste fades. Number 24. Carl's Jr. Western Bacon Cheeseburger. The Western Bacon Cheeseburger from Carl's Jr. looks like something straight out of a summer cookout. Smoky bacon, melted cheese, crispy onion rings, and that signature sweet barbecue sauce. But don't let the cowboy branding fool you. This thing is more sugar and grease than steakhouse flavor. A single Western Bacon Cheeseburger packs around 1,020 calories, 54 grams of fat, and nearly 1,900 milligrams of sodium, and if you go for the double, you're staring down almost 1,500 calories in one sandwich. The real culprit here isn't just the bacon, it's the barbecue sauce and fried onion rings. That combo dumps unnecessary sugar and oil into an already fatty burger. According to data from Eat This, Not That, it's among the worst fast food burgers in America for sodium and saturated fat content. And the sauce alone adds around 15 grams of sugar, turning this savory meal into something that spikes both your blood sugar and your blood pressure. Carl's Jr. sells it as bold flavor, but nutritionally, it's just chaos. Between the deep-fried onions, processed cheese, and sauce-slathered bun, this burger is a fast-track ticket to inflammation, bloating, and a sodium overload your body won't forgive easily. Number 23. Whataburger's Triple Meat. Whataburger, everything's bigger in Texas, and Whataburger's Triple Meat Whataburger is living proof. This behemoth of a sandwich stacks 3 full beef patties, melted American cheese, and mayo between an oversized bun that could double as a small pillow. The result? A staggering 1,880 calories, 145 grams of fat, and nearly 2,500 milligrams of sodium in a single burger. That's more than what most people should consume in an entire day, and that's before you add fries or a shake. Whataburger proudly advertises its burgers as made fresh to order, but fresh doesn't mean healthy. The triple version alone delivers over 60 grams of saturated fat, putting enormous strain on the heart and arteries. Even the regular Whataburger comes in heavy at 590 calories and 25 grams of fat, making it easy to underestimate just how quickly the numbers add up. The chain is beloved across the South, but nutritionists consistently rank the Triple Meat Whataburger among the worst fast food items in America for heart health. It's indulgent, nostalgic, and massive, but also a perfect storm of salt, grease, and calories that could knock your diet clean off its hinges. Number 22. Sonic's Supersonic Bacon Double Cheeseburger. The Supersonic Bacon Double Cheeseburger is marketed as the big, bold flavor of America's drive-in tradition, but what you're really getting is a nutritional overload on wheels. One of these double patty monsters comes in at about 1,030 calories, 72 grams of fat, and a jaw-dropping 1,700 milligrams of sodium. Add fries and a drink, and you're pushing 1,500 to 1,600 calories in one sitting, the same as some people's entire daily intake. The problem isn't just the calories, it's how they're built. Sonic slathers its patties with mayo, cheese, and bacon, then traps it all under a buttered bun that soaks up even more oil. According to multiple health rankings, including Eat This, Not That, and Prevention, this burger consistently lands in the top tier of worst fast food burgers in America. The high saturated fat content alone, around 30 grams, is enough to spike LDL cholesterol, while the sodium load can raise blood pressure after a single meal. Sure, Sonic is famous for nostalgia, car hops, milkshakes, and bright lights. But nutritionally, this burger belongs in a museum of bad decisions. It's not drive-in dining. It's more like driving straight into a dietary wall. Number 21. The Wendy's Baconator. The Baconator isn't just a burger. It's an unapologetic statement of excess. Wendy's built it to be over the top. 2 beef patties, 6 strips of bacon, 2 slices of cheese, and a heavy dose of mayo on a buttered bun. The result? Around 960 calories, 66 grams of fat, and more than 1,530 milligrams of sodium in one sandwich. And if you upgrade to the son of Baconator or pair it with fries and a soda, that meal easily rockets past 1,500 calories. The danger here is in the ratios. This burger has nearly twice as much fat as protein and packs almost a full day's worth of saturated fat. It's the kind of meal that spikes your cholesterol, bloats you with sodium, and leaves your body begging for fiber or nutrients it never gets. Even nutritionists who occasionally defend fast food call the Baconator a heart attack in a wrapper. Wendy's sells it as a meat lover's dream, but it's really a red flag dressed in bacon. It's pure indulgence, and while there's nothing wrong with treating yourself once in a blue moon, the Baconator is the kind of treat that treats your arteries like an enemy. Number 20. Hardee's Double Western Bacon Cheeseburger. If there's one burger that perfectly captures the American obsession with going bigger, it's the Double Western Bacon Cheeseburger from Hardee's. 2 thick beef patties, 2 slices of cheese, fried onion rings, bacon, and barbecue sauce. It sounds like a cookout dream, but nutritionally, it's a complete meltdown. This burger hits around 1,220 calories, 85 grams of fat, and over 2,000 milligrams of sodium, putting it in the same league as some of the heaviest fast food items ever sold. The real trap here is how layered the damage is. You've got deep-fried onion rings adding oxidized oil, a sauce loaded with sugar, and bacon contributing to both saturated fat and sodium spikes. The result is a double dose of everything the average diet already has too much of: refined carbs, processed meat, and inflammatory fats. According to multiple health databases, it's one of the few burgers that can exceed your entire day's saturated fat limit in a single serving. Hardee's calls it a classic, but this is fast food's version of a time capsule, straight from an era before calorie counts and heart disease stats mattered. It's the kind of meal that fills your stomach fast and punishes your body long after. Number 19. The McDonald's Big Mac. Few foods are as iconic or as misleading as the McDonald's Big Mac. With its shiny sesame seed bun, tangy special sauce, and double beef patties, it's been marketed for decades as the perfect fast food balance. But peel back the nostalgia, and you're looking at a nutritional profile that's far from balanced. One Big Mac packs 590 calories, 33 grams of fat, and 1,010 milligrams of sodium, with barely 25 grams of protein to show for it. And that famous special sauce? It's mostly soybean oil, sugar, and high fructose corn syrup, turning what could have been a basic burger into a highly processed sodium trap. Dietitians have long criticized the Big Mac for how deceptively medium-sized it looks. It's not huge, yet it delivers almost half your daily recommended saturated fat. Regular consumption has been linked to higher cholesterol and weight gain, especially because it leaves you hungry again within hours. That's thanks to the refined carbs in the triple bun structure and the lack of fiber or real nutrients. The Big Mac might symbolize fast food itself, but it also symbolizes how far convenience can push health out of the picture. It's not the balanced meal the ads once promised. It's an edible illusion built on nostalgia and marketing genius. Number 18. White Castle's Frozen Sliders. Once considered a nostalgic comfort food, White Castle's frozen sliders became one of the most alarming burger scandals in recent memory. In late 2019, the company was forced to recall thousands of cases shipped to 22 states after routine quality checks uncovered Listeria monocytogenes contamination at its production plant. The recall included nearly every variation: classic cheese sliders, jalapeno cheese sliders, and plain hamburgers, sold in major retailers like Walmart, Target, and Meijer. Listeria is no ordinary bacteria. It survives freezing temperatures and can cause severe illness, especially in pregnant women, children, and the elderly. While White Castle claimed no confirmed illnesses, the company still halted production, scrubbed its facilities from top to bottom, and destroyed large inventories of potentially tainted products. It was a costly blow to both reputation and trust. The recall also raised questions about the safety of mass-produced frozen burgers. Many assumed freezing killed off pathogens, but experts pointed out that Listeria can remain dormant and reactivate once thawed. Even after the plant resumed operation, consumers grew wary, proving that a burger doesn't need to be fresh to become a health hazard. Number 17. Cheesecake Factory's Bacon Cheeseburger. If there's ever been a burger that laughs in the face of moderation, it's the Cheesecake Factory's infamous Bacon Cheeseburger. Clocking in at around 1,610 calories and more than 3,500 milligrams of sodium, this single sandwich nearly wipes out 2 full days of recommended salt intake. It's layered with thick applewood bacon, melted cheddar, and a glossy brioche bun, then drowned in sauces that make it taste like heaven but feel like a heart attack waiting to happen. The Cheesecake Factory is no stranger to the spotlight when it comes to extreme eating lists, and this burger sits near the top year after year. Nutritionists often point out that eating one of these is equivalent to devouring 4 McDonald's hamburgers in one sitting. What's worse, that's before you even touch the fries or the restaurant's massive milkshakes, which can tack on another 1,000 calories. While the company prides itself on indulgence, health experts warn that this is less of a meal and more of a metabolic overload. Between the double bacon, cheese, and butter toasted bun, it's the perfect storm of fat, sodium, and sugar, a recipe not for satisfaction, but for regret. Number 16. Amy's Kitchen. For decades, Amy's Kitchen sold itself as the wholesome, organic alternative to junky frozen food, a brand that looked like it came straight out of a yoga retreat. But behind that made with love image lies a history that made health-conscious shoppers do a double take. In 2015, Amy's Kitchen recalled over 70,000 cases of frozen meals, including its signature veggie burgers, spinach lasagna, and enchiladas, after the FDA detected Listeria monocytogenes in its organic spinach supply. The recall hit shelves at Walmart, Target, and Costco, exposing how even organic brands aren't immune to industrial-scale contamination. The company claimed no illnesses were reported, but the damage was done. Consumers began questioning whether the organic label really meant safer or cleaner. Adding to the skepticism, a later 2022 investigation by NBC News revealed factory workers alleging unsafe working conditions, high injury rates, and pressure to meet unrealistic quotas, contradicting the brand's feel-good marketing. Even nutritionally, Amy's veggie burgers aren't as innocent as they look. A single patty can carry 900 to 1,000 milligrams of sodium, nearly half your daily limit. The brand still thrives on its health halo, but in reality, it's just another mass-produced product hiding behind pretty packaging. Number 15. Beyond Meat's plant-based patties. Once hailed as the future of meat, Beyond Meat's plant-based patties have quickly become a cautionary tale in overhyped healthy food marketing. Sold in Walmart, Target, Costco, and Whole Foods, the Beyond Burger promised beef-like taste with cleaner nutrition, boasting 20 grams of protein and a smaller carbon footprint. But between 2022 and 2024, the company faced a wave of class action lawsuits after independent lab tests allegedly found the patties contained up to 30% less protein than advertised. Plaintiffs accused Beyond Meat of false labeling and misleading claims about both nutrition and environmental impact. Experts have also questioned the healthier than beef narrative. Despite the vegan branding, each patty packs around 500 milligrams of sodium, processed oils, and methylcellulose, a thickener more common in laxatives than food. Critics argue that Beyond's burgers are ultra-processed imitations, not natural alternatives. Even major restaurant partners like McDonald's with its McPlant burger quietly dropped the product after sluggish sales and poor public reception. Once valued at over $13 billion, Beyond Meat's stock has since crashed by over 90%, as consumers realize that plant-based doesn't always mean pure. What began as a revolution in eating ended up another overprocessed marketing mirage. Number 14. Chili's Oldtimer with Cheese. At first glance, Chili's Oldtimer with Cheese looks like a classic American diner burger. Simple, familiar, harmless. But under that glossy bun lies one of the most deceptively unhealthy burgers in casual dining. A single Oldtimer with cheese clocks in at roughly 1,090 calories, 73 grams of fat, and an astonishing 2,600 milligrams of sodium, more salt than an entire day's recommended limit. Add fries and a drink, and you're suddenly sitting on a 1,700 plus calorie meal, all before dessert. What makes it especially sneaky is its presentation. Unlike massive double-decker burgers, this one looks modest, leading many to believe it's a safer choice. Yet nutritionists repeatedly flag it as a heartburn cocktail, loaded with processed American cheese, full sodium pickles, and a mayo-heavy sauce that adds unnecessary fat and sugar. Chili's has long resisted reformulating its burgers, even as competitors trimmed calories and sodium. Health groups have since included the Oldtimer on multiple worst restaurant burgers in America lists. It's a perfect example of how restaurant chains rely on nostalgia to disguise outdated, unhealthy recipes. Proof that sometimes the simplest burgers hide the biggest dangers. Number 13. MorningStar Farms. MorningStar Farms, owned by Kellogg's, built its empire on frozen vegetarian convenience foods, especially its line of veggie burgers sold nationwide in Walmart, Target, and Costco. For decades, the brand marketed itself as the healthy alternative to beef, with bright green packaging and promises like 57% less fat than ground beef. But when you look closer, the illusion starts to fall apart. Despite being promoted as plant-based, many MorningStar patties, including popular ones like the Griller's Original, still contain egg whites and dairy, sparking backlash from vegan consumers. The ingredient list reads more like a chemistry project than a veggie garden. Soy protein concentrate, wheat gluten, methylcellulose, starches, and flavor additives. Nutrition experts have criticized them for being ultra-processed and high in sodium, with some patties packing 500 milligrams or more per serving, more than many fast food burgers. In 2019, the company pledged to go 100% vegan by 2021, but failed to follow through, quietly keeping animal-derived ingredients in several products. Even loyal customers have complained that newer versions taste rubbery and artificial compared to the old recipes. MorningStar's burgers prove that plant-based doesn't always mean clean, natural, or healthy. It can still be junk food dressed in green. Number 12. Shake Shack's SmokeShack. The double SmokeShack might look like a high-end alternative to greasy fast food, but beneath its glossy brioche bun hides one of the most deceptive gourmet burgers on the market. This fan favorite from Shake Shack piles on 2 Angus beef patties, crispy smoked bacon, American cheese, and a hefty dose of Shack sauce, all topped with cherry peppers for that tangy kick. It sounds refined until you look at the numbers. One double SmokeShack delivers roughly 830 to 870 calories, over 50 grams of fat, and an eye-watering 3,000 milligrams of sodium, more than the recommended daily limit in a single meal. Pair it with fries and a shake, and you're staring down a 1,500 to 1,800 calorie feast that leaves your arteries begging for mercy. The problem isn't just the calories, it's the sodium overload that turns this burger into a slow burn for your blood pressure. While Shake Shack markets it as premium, it's still a salt-heavy, fat-saturated indulgence in disguise. The double SmokeShack proves that even the upscale burger chains can rival fast food giants when it comes to nutritional nightmares. Number 11. Kroger beef patties. Kroger may be one of America's biggest grocery chains, but its store-brand beef patties have faced serious safety issues that most shoppers never hear about. In 2024, Kroger was forced to recall thousands of pounds of ground beef and pre-formed patties after E. coli contamination was discovered in products supplied by JBS Swift Beef Co., one of its main meat processors. The recall spanned multiple states, including Illinois, Indiana, Arkansas, and Tennessee, and led to several reported illnesses. What made this case alarming was how easily contaminated beef slipped through a supply chain that serves millions. Tests confirmed the bacteria could cause severe foodborne illness, kidney failure, and in rare cases, death. This wasn't Kroger's first time under fire either. Earlier inspections had found traces of E. coli in Kroger's ground beef products, prompting removals from store shelves even before official recalls began. The issue highlights a deeper industry problem. Mass production shortcuts and supplier dependence can make even trusted grocery brands vulnerable to contamination. Cooking to 160 degrees Fahrenheit may kill bacteria, but no amount of heat restores trust once the public learns what's lurking behind that freshly packed Kroger label. Number 10. Tyson Foods Ball Park. Ball Park, a brand under Tyson Foods' massive meat portfolio, often benefits from Tyson's scale, but also inherits its risks. One glaring example. In 2019, Tyson voluntarily recalled 20,000 pounds of ready-to-eat beef patties after detecting plastic contamination in the product. That's not random. It was a ready-made burger patty, not raw ground beef. The recall underscored how even finished patties can harbor physical contaminants, not just microbial ones. Earlier that same year, Tyson's Advanced Pierre division, also under the Tyson umbrella, pulled frozen beef patties after the discovery of hard mirror-like foreign objects embedded in meat blocks that were used to supply patties. While these recalls weren't always labeled under Ball Park specifically, the shared supply chains mean any Tyson-sourced beef patty, including Ball Park, could be vulnerable, especially in large-scale production. The scale of Tyson's operations gives them both reach and exposure. When you buy a Ball Park beef patty, you're riding the coattails of Tyson's beef infrastructure. That brings efficiencies, but also the same recall history, risk of contamination, and all the hidden dangers that come with high-volume meat processing. Number 9. Applebee's Quesadilla Burger. Applebee's Quesadilla Burger isn't just a burger. It's a full-blown nutritional ambush disguised as comfort food. It combines everything you'd expect from a Tex-Mex cheat meal. A thick beef patty sandwiched between two cheesy quesadillas, loaded with pepper jack cheese, bacon, pico de gallo, shredded lettuce, and a creamy Mexi Ranch sauce. It's marketed as a bold twist on the classic burger, but the only thing bold about it is the sodium count. This monster clocks in at around 1,580 to 1,620 calories, a staggering 103 grams of fat, and over 3,500 milligrams of sodium, more salt than 1.5 days' worth in a single sitting. Add fries and a soda, and you're looking at a 2,000 plus calorie meal before dessert. The combination of double cheese, bacon, and 2 tortillas makes this one of the heaviest chain restaurant burgers ever put on a plate. What's deceptive is how fun and creative it sounds. In reality, it's a cardiovascular nightmare, drenched in grease and salt, engineered to keep you craving more. The quesadilla burger isn't a fusion masterpiece. It's a dietary time bomb, with melted cheese holding it together. Number 8. Walmart's Great Value Frozen Beef Patties. Walmart's Great Value frozen beef patties are a staple in freezers across America. Cheap, convenient, and sold under the promise of being 100% pure beef. But behind that bright blue packaging lies the reality of how private label meat is made. Mass production, third-party suppliers, and thin safety margins. These patties are typically processed in the same industrial facilities that produce beef for dozens of other supermarket brands, meaning one slip in sanitation can spread contamination across multiple labels in a single day. In past years, Great Value meat products have been linked to major recalls, including incidents of salmonella and E. coli contamination that forced thousands of pounds of frozen meat off shelves nationwide. Most of these recalls trace back to massive suppliers like Cargill or JBS, companies that handle millions of pounds of beef weekly for Walmart and other grocers. Consumers often assume frozen equals safe, but that's a dangerous misconception. Freezing doesn't kill pathogens, it just pauses them. Once thawed, any surviving bacteria can multiply rapidly. The low price might look appealing, but when your burger's origin is a mystery tied to industrial slaughterhouses, you're gambling with more than just flavor, you're gambling with your health. Number 7. Denny's Slamburger. Denny's markets its Slamburger as the best of breakfast and burgers combined, but in reality, it's a nutritional train wreck wrapped in diner nostalgia. This monster starts with a thick beef patty, then piles on crispy bacon, hash browns, an egg, American cheese, and a buttery bun, all drenched in grease that soaks through the paper before it ever hits your plate. It's meant to scream indulgence, and it delivers, just not in a good way. One Slamburger delivers roughly 1,300 calories, 85 grams of fat, and a staggering 2,700 milligrams of sodium before you even add fries or a drink. The combination of processed cheese, fried potatoes, and breakfast meat creates one of the most fat-saturated burgers in casual dining. Denny's promotes it as a hearty morning pick-me-up, but it's closer to eating 3 Egg McMuffins and a cheeseburger at once. Nutrition experts have repeatedly slammed it for being the definition of a dietary disaster, high in saturated fat, sodium, and cholesterol, yet nearly devoid of fiber or vegetables. It's the kind of burger that leaves you stuffed, sluggish, and wondering if your arteries just filed for early retirement. Number 6. IHOP's Mega Monster Cheeseburger. IHOP built its name on pancakes, not patties, but their Mega Monster Cheeseburger proves that even a breakfast chain can outdo the worst of fast food when it comes to excess. This behemoth stacks 2 Angus beef patties, American and white cheddar cheeses, lettuce, tomato, red onion, pickles, and IHOP's signature sauce, all crammed between a buttered brioche bun. It looks picture perfect under the menu lights, but nutritionally, it's a ticking time bomb. One Mega Monster delivers about 1,300 calories, 90 grams of fat, and close to 3,000 milligrams of sodium. That's before fries or a drink. Add IHOP sides, and you're easily looking at 1,700 plus calories, more than most people should eat in an entire day. The saturated fat content alone rivals what the American Heart Association recommends for 3 days combined. IHOP has tried to market this burger as a premium diner classic, but critics call it what it is: a greasy Frankenstein of breakfast and dinner. The irony? The chain that serves pancakes dripping with syrup somehow found a way to create something even worse for your arteries. The Mega Monster isn't a meal, it's an endurance test. Number 5. Culver's ButterBurger Double Cheese. Culver's likes to present itself as a wholesome Midwestern alternative to greasy fast food, a place where quality and hospitality matter. But their signature ButterBurger Cheese Double tells a different story. Each burger starts with 2 fresh beef patties, a buttered and toasted bun, American cheese, and a swipe of mayo or pickles, depending on the location. It sounds harmless enough until you realize what that butter really means. Extra saturated fat layered right on top of already fatty beef. Nutritionally, this so-called Midwest classic is no lightweight. The double ButterBurger cheese packs roughly 900 to 1,000 calories, 57 grams of fat, and about 1,400 milligrams of sodium before fries or a shake. Add a side of Culver's famous cheese curds, and you're pushing well past 1,700 calories in one sitting. What makes it deceptive is how homemade and old-fashioned it's marketed. The buttered bun adds flavor, sure, but it also spikes cholesterol and turns an average burger into a heartburn-inducing grease bomb. The ButterBurger may feel nostalgic, but nutritionally, it's every bit as indulgent and artery-clogging as the fast food giants it pretends to outclass. Number 4. Banquet's Mega Deals. Banquet's Mega Meals line is the definition of industrial comfort food. Oversized, greasy, and built for convenience, not quality. The double meat barbecue burger in particular is a frozen meal that tries to capture a backyard barbecue in a microwave tray. 2 pre-cooked beef patties, a thick layer of sweet artificial barbecue sauce, and a pile of starchy sides like mashed potatoes or macaroni. It looks filling, but nutritionally, it's a nightmare in disguise. A single box packs roughly 900 calories, 45 grams of fat, and nearly 2,000 milligrams of sodium, with an ingredient list that reads like a chemistry lab: caramel color, soy protein concentrate, high fructose corn syrup, and multiple preservatives. Even worse, these patties are mechanically processed, meaning the meat comes from ground trimmings and fillers molded to look like real burgers. The taste might hit that smoky, salty craving, but it's mostly artificial flavoring and sugar doing the work. Sold nationwide at Walmart, Kroger, and other big box stores, Banquet Mega Meals are cheap, yes, but you get what you pay for. A sodium-heavy, low-quality frozen product that leaves you bloated, thirsty, and nowhere near a real burger experience. Number 3. Habit Burger's Double Char. The Habit Burger Grill loves to brand itself as the classy, California-born answer to fast food, a place where burgers are char-grilled over an open flame, not fried in grease. But their signature double char proves that behind the marketing, it's the same story of excess calories and sodium, just wrapped in cleaner branding. The double char loads up 2 flame-grilled beef patties, cheese, mayo, pickles, lettuce, and tomato on a toasted bun brushed in butter. It looks handcrafted, but nutritionally, it's anything but wholesome. A standard double char with cheese runs about 750 to 900 calories, 50 grams of fat, and 1,300 milligrams of sodium, numbers right in line with the worst offenders at McDonald's or Burger King. Add fries and a shake, and you're staring at a 1,600 to 1,800 calorie meal. The chain markets its burgers as better because they're grilled. But the char adds little nutritional value. It just hides the grease under a smoky flavor. Now owned by Yum Brands, the same corporation behind KFC and Taco Bell, Habit Burger has quietly traded its craft image for scale. The double char may look gourmet, but it's just another corporate burger polished up to look premium. Number 2. Carl's Jr. El Diablo Burger. Carl's Jr. is no stranger to over-the-top menu items, but the El Diablo Burger is their flavor warrior assault on your diet. The sandwich features a beef patty layered with roasted jalapenos, pepper jack cheese, guacamole, sriracha sauce, lettuce, and tomato on a toasted bun. The fiery promise sounds exciting, but with great heat comes great nutritional peril. Even without sides, the El Diablo Burger clocks in around 1,290 calories, with fat content pushing 65 to 75 grams, and sodium levels easily topping 2,300 to 2,500 milligrams. That's before you even look at the fries or a carbonated drink. The use of spicy sauces, creamy guacamole, and melted cheese also delivers a triple threat of saturated fat, sugar, and salt. Carl's Jr. leans into the extreme burger branding with items like the El Diablo, encouraging customers to embrace the indulgent, the messy, and the aggressive. But while the name is daring, the burger itself is just another calorie bomb in disguise. Behind the fire lies the same design script: push flavor, overload fat and sodium, and hope consumers think premium flavor equals worth it. Number 1. Texas Roadhouse Smokehouse Burger. Texas Roadhouse might be known for steaks and cinnamon butter rolls, but their Smokehouse burger is quietly one of the most indulgent items on the entire menu. This oversized burger loads a thick beef patty with melted cheddar, crispy bacon, BBQ sauce, sautéed onions, and mushrooms, all piled onto a butter-grilled bun. It looks like a Southern classic, but nutritionally, it's a full-scale ambush. A single Smokehouse burger packs roughly 1,300 to 1,400 calories, 85 grams of fat, and close to 3,000 milligrams of sodium, and that's without fries or a drink. Add sides, and the meal can easily soar beyond 1,800 calories, putting it in line with a day's worth of food in one sitting. The barbecue sauce alone contributes massive amounts of sugar and sodium, while the buttered bun and bacon double down on saturated fat. The most deceptive part? Texas Roadhouse markets it as a smoky, handcrafted burger, something you'd imagine from a backyard grill, not a grease-soaked kitchen line. But it's proof that made from scratch doesn't mean healthy. The Smokehouse burger is exactly what it sounds like: a slow burn for your arteries, wrapped in Southern charm. But before you go out of your way avoiding every single burger you see, let me tell you, you don't need to, as here are 10 burgers that are actually not bad for you, starting with Number 10. Panera Bread's Turkey Avocado BLT Burger. In a sea of greasy diner burgers, Panera Bread's Turkey Avocado BLT Burger stands out as one of the few genuinely balanced options you can find at a major chain. Instead of greasy ground beef, it's made with 100% lean turkey breast, grilled rather than fried, and topped with fresh avocado, lettuce, tomato, and applewood smoked bacon on a whole grain bun. It delivers that familiar comfort food satisfaction, but without wrecking your daily nutrition. At around 570 calories, this burger manages to stay filling and flavorful while keeping saturated fat and sodium in check. The avocado adds healthy monounsaturated fats, while the turkey provides clean protein without the heaviness of beef. Even the bun is a smarter choice, whole grain instead of refined white bread, offering extra fiber to keep you fuller longer. Panera's ingredient list is refreshingly transparent. No artificial preservatives, colorings, or flavor enhancers. It's still an indulgence, but a responsible one that doesn't leave you bloated or sluggish afterward. Among the big-name restaurant burgers, this is one of the few that actually earns the better for you label. Proof that simple, fresh ingredients can still make a seriously good burger. Number 9. Applegate Naturals Organic Grass-Fed Beef Burgers. Every once in a while, a burger brand actually earns its health halo, and Applegate Naturals is one of the few that does. These organic, grass-fed beef burgers ditch the lab-made additives, antibiotics, and feedlot nonsense that plague most frozen meats. Each patty is made from real beef, raised humanely, and seasoned simply with sea salt. No caramel coloring, no flavoring compounds, just the kind of clean food your grandparents would have recognized. At about 190 to 210 calories per patty and over 20 grams of protein, Applegate's burgers prove that simple doesn't have to mean bland. They cook fast, taste like actual beef, and don't leave that greasy residue most frozen patties do. Even their blend burger version, half beef, half mushrooms, manages to cut down fat while keeping that satisfying umami kick. Sure, it's still a burger, not kale salad, but it's a massive improvement over the sodium-saturated bricks found in most freezers. It's the kind of burger you can grill up without that little voice in your head whispering, "You're undoing a week at the gym." Clean, flavorful, and surprisingly guilt-free, Applegate gets it right. Number 8. Wendy's Junior Cheeseburger Deluxe. In a fast food world obsessed with stacking patties and breaking calorie records, Wendy's Junior Cheeseburger Deluxe is one of the few options that feels reasonable. It's not pretending to be health food, it's just portion control done right. This smaller burger delivers everything people actually want. A single fresh beef patty, lettuce, tomato, pickles, onions, and a light touch of mayo and cheese on a toasted bun. Nothing fancy, nothing extreme. At roughly 340 calories with 20 grams of fat and about 600 milligrams of sodium, it's a fast food burger you can actually enjoy without instantly regretting it. The beef is never frozen, and because the patty is smaller, it doesn't drown in grease or condiments like its oversized siblings. It's flavorful enough to satisfy a craving, yet light enough not to derail your day. Cut the mayo or skip the cheese, and it becomes even leaner, making it one of the most balanced burgers you can get through a drive-thru window, the Junior. Deluxe proves that fast food doesn't always have to mean reckless food. Sometimes, smaller really is smarter. Number 7. Sweet Earth Awesome Burger. If you're fed up with fake meat experiments that end up tasting like rubber, the Sweet Earth Awesome Burger is a rare plant patty that keeps it real. Instead of chemical aftertaste, you get a hearty chew, a modest char, and clean ingredients. Pea protein, coconut oil, beet powder, for color, not deception. Each burger runs around 400 calories, delivers 25 grams of protein, and contains less sodium than many rivals. There's no soy isolate, no unknown flavoring systems, just food you can recognize. When cooked right, it doesn't fall apart, doesn't scream lab food, and doesn't leave you regretting life choices. Where to find it? It's available in major grocery chains across the U.S., Whole Foods, Kroger, Safeway, Sprouts, and many regional supermarkets. It's typically stocked in the frozen plant-based or veggie burger section. Some Target and Walmart markets also carry it, depending on regional demand. If your local store doesn't have it yet, you can usually order it via Instacart or special order from the store's meat divided by freezer manager. Number 6. In-Out Protein Style Burger. When you think of In-N-Out, healthy isn't exactly the first word that comes to mind. But the Protein Style Burger quietly flips that image on its head. Instead of a carb-heavy bun soaked in spread, the whole burger is wrapped in crisp, cold lettuce, turning the West Coast classic into something refreshingly light. You still get that same freshly grilled beef patty, the melted American cheese, the tomato slice, and that unmistakable in-out flavor, but without the guilt bomb that usually comes with it. Dropping the bun slashes around 150 to 200 calories right off the top, and you'd be surprised how satisfying it still feels. The crunch of the lettuce gives every bite a clean contrast to the juicy meat, almost making you forget the bread was ever there. Even die-hard regulars swear it's one of the best low-carb fast food options in America because it keeps the soul of the burger intact. If you've ever wanted to eat In-N-Out without feeling like you just tanked your entire day's diet, this is your golden ticket. Simple, flavorful, and shockingly clean for what it is. Number 5. McDonald's Plain Hamburger. It's hard to believe, but one of the lightest burgers in fast food comes from McDonald's, and it's the plain old hamburger. No double patty, no sauces piled high, just a simple, straightforward classic. At around 250 calories with 9 grams of fat, it's shockingly tame compared to the calorie bombs you see on the menu today. You get a small beef patty, pickles, onions, ketchup, and mustard tucked inside a soft bun. That's it. Nothing fancy, but it works because it's balanced. The flavor is that nostalgic McDonald's taste. Salty, tangy, and satisfying without the food coma afterward. The trick is to keep it simple. No extra cheese, no mayo, and definitely no upsizing. Pair it with a bottle of water or black coffee instead of a sugary soda, and you've got a quick meal that won't wreck your day. It's the kind of burger that reminds you how fast food used to be, before everything became double, triple, or stuffed with bacon. Sometimes, going back to basics really is the smarter move. Number 4. Freddy's Single Steak Burger. If you've ever stepped into Freddy's, you know it feels like a time capsule. Red and white tiles, old school music, and burgers that look like something straight out of the 1950s. But the single steak burger, especially when ordered lettuce wrapped, proves that nostalgia doesn't have to mean heavy eating. Freddy's cooks their patties smash style, pressing them thin on a hot griddle until the edges crisp up and caramelize, locking in that signature diner flavor. You still get that rich, beefy taste, but in a smaller, more balanced portion. The single patty clocks in around 400 calories, and skipping the bun trims it closer to 300, all while keeping the crunch of fresh lettuce and the tang of pickles and mustard. It's the kind of burger that satisfies without sitting like a rock in your stomach. No double-stacked guilt, no dripping grease puddles, just a simple throwback burger done right. For anyone craving that classic drive-in experience without blowing their calorie count, Freddy's might just be the perfect middle ground between indulgence and common sense. Number 3. Five Guys' Little Hamburger. Five Guys isn't exactly known for light food. It's the place where fries come in paper bags overflowing with grease, and burgers are stacked like skyscrapers. But the Little Hamburger is the one exception that lets you enjoy that famous Five Guys flavor without completely wrecking your diet. Unlike the double patty standard burger, the little version uses just one patty, cooked fresh on a flat-top grill and seasoned to perfection. You still get that juicy, charred edge and customizable toppings, but in a much saner portion. The base burger sits around 540 calories, but if you skip cheese and mayo, it drops closer to 400 to 420, while keeping that beefy, made-to-order punch. Load it up with grilled onions, pickles, lettuce, and tomato, and you've got something that tastes indulgent yet doesn't leave you in a post-meal coma. It's a perfect middle ground, the same taste that made Five Guys famous, just without the mountain of meat and cheese. So if you crave that diner-style burger with real grill flavor, this is the smarter play, satisfying, classic, and surprisingly reasonable. Number 2. Dairy Queen's Original Hamburger. When most people think of Dairy Queen, they picture blizzards, cones, and ice cream dipped in chocolate, not burgers. But the original hamburger is one of the best-kept secrets in fast food if you're after something lighter. Sitting at roughly 350 calories with 16 grams of protein, it's a simple, no-frills burger that doesn't pretend to be something it's not. You get a single seasoned beef patty, pickles, ketchup, and mustard on a soft toasted bun. That's it. No gimmicks, no heavy mayo, no triple-stacked nonsense. What makes it work is portion control and balance. Just enough fat for flavor without the greasy overload. The patty's got that classic DQ char, and when it's freshly made, it tastes a lot closer to a backyard cookout than a drive-thru. You can also ask for extra lettuce or tomato to bulk it up without adding junk calories. It's not health food, but it's honest fast food. A burger you can actually enjoy without feeling like you just inhaled an entire day's worth of calories. Number 1. Sonic Junior Hamburger. It's easy to forget that Sonic still does the classic burger right. No towering stacks or sauces dripping everywhere, just a simple, old-school handheld that hits the spot. The Junior Burger is one of the most underrated items on their menu, clocking in at around 330 calories with about 14 grams of protein, and far less fat than Sonic's loaded options. It comes with a single griddled beef patty, mustard, ketchup, pickles, and onions on a soft toasted bun, giving you that diner-style flavor without the post-meal crash. What makes it special is how balanced it feels. The patty still gets that caramelized edge Sonic is known for, while the portion keeps things light enough to enjoy guilt-free. Skip the cheese or mayo, and you've got a burger that's flavorful, clean, and satisfying. Add lettuce or tomato for a little extra crunch, and it suddenly feels like something you could eat on repeat. In a fast food world obsessed with excess, the Sonic Junior Burger proves that smaller can taste better, simple, balanced, and genuinely enjoyable from the first bite to the last.